All right, so while we're on the topic of educational videos, let's do another one, right? So this may apply to some seasoned vets, maybe not, but definitely beginners. So what you're looking at here is a big leaf species, flame maple top, 5A grade. Now, what you need to know about big leaf is it's one of the fastest growing maples on planet Earth. Beautiful stuff, but as you can tell here, looking at the annual ring growth, there's large spacing in between the rings. And that's a sign that this tree grew really fast. And because of that, and the nature of big leaf maple, it's a very fibrous maple, has large wood fibers or strands. So when suppliers like myself go to process this wood, we use tungsten carbide spiral on virtually everything. So a lot of times people who don't know what they're talking about look at this and go, oh my goodness, look at all that tear out. It's actually not tear out, that's called furring. And so basically the way that works is if a tree had no figure, it would be perfectly smooth. But because this curl, which is a form of genetic compression, the wood fibers go like this. And when they come back up vertical and we come across them with spiral, you give it a haircut, give it like a flat top. And that's what's happened, okay? And the reason, so there's two ways to lay that grain down and get it nice and smooth. One is sanding, which we don't do for the moment, just because it's a labor cost time thing. We want to be able to bring you high grade products, but we would ask that you do get your hands a little dirty, meaning you're going to have to sand. You're going to have to sand anyway, even if we were to lay this down, because I don't know what your spec is. You may finish at an eighth. You know, the only other way is to go back over it this way. So feed it this way in a high-speed planer, high-speed sharpened steel. And it's very costly, and the blades get nicks and they dull very fast with big leaf maple. It wreaks havoc on those. Occasionally we do it for the super high-grade sets. Now, if that's you and you're going to plane, all you got to do is run your hand across this set. And if you feel resistance, you want to feed it in the direction you feel the resistance. So if I feel it like this and it's rough going this way, you want to feed it on a belt sander, a drum sander, or a planer, or a time saver, because the grain was pulled and semi-laid this way. So you want to continue that as cutter heads cut this way, drum sanders, time savers. Pressure rollers feed it this way, and the belts go this way, the knives go this way. You want to continue in that direction. Unfortunately, if you go against the grain, you run the risk of tearing it all up. So anyways, the reason we don't do it, we get you there, we can photograph it. It's actually, it does not work in our favor. It helps us because we're trying to put out a phenomenal product at a price that people can actually afford. If we fussed over every single set, we'd be out of business, okay? And so for that, in return, if you buy it, it will only look better.